What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This, of course, is Anthony with VR365. Welcome to another episode of our show. Today is Saturday. It is December 15th. It is barely afternoon, and we are back in the building, ladies and gentlemen. And so today, kind of a bit of a shiitake mushroom episode again today, I'd have to say. Not a lot of stuff to get into today, but we're definitely going to talk a little bit more about Borderlands 2 VR. Yes, it appears that there may be another flip-flop. Maybe Ben Lang was right after all. Yes, this is the second time that this has happened to me, where I end up playing some kind of VR game like minutes before my show, come onto the show, have a certain particular take about everything, and then kind of change my mind later. And it's like, damn, I just did a show and I put all this stuff out there, and now maybe I'm actually changing my mind a little bit. How crazy is that? But that is the thoughts on Borderlands 2. So definitely going to get into Borderlands 2 VR a little bit. We also have a few trailers for some different games that are coming up. And maybe one of the most exciting things of all, District Steel. Yes, there is this game called District Steel by Barricade Studios. And this game has kind of been... Who knows what has been going on with this game for the last couple of years. I've always thought it looked cool. I really like the visual style of this game, but we didn't hear anything from Barricade Studios for the longest time. And then all of a sudden they dropped basically a 14-minute gameplay video. Now I went ahead and I chopped that video down to about a little over 3 minutes. And we'll take a look at that footage a little bit later. That looks like one of the best upcoming VR games that we have on the docket. At least it looks pretty interesting to me. So we do have District Steel as well. And of course, Contractors. It is available. It is out there. People are playing it. I actually reached out to Caveman Studio. I did get a code for the game. Unfortunately, I just got it this morning, and I mean, I didn't check my email, and I just got it this morning. I have not been in there, so I have no thoughts on Contractors VR, although I do kind of feel that the second I step onto the field, I will be sniped from hundreds of yards away. But I still want to get in there. I still want to check it out. I still want to kind of get a feel on it. And a lot of people in chat right now are talking about Robinson the Journey. Yes, Robinson the Journey has a pretty good deal that is going on right now. It is on sale. I've seen Robinson the Journey be on sale a number of times, and it appears like it is back on sale. And then also, of course, we do also have the IGN kerfuffle. Yes, the IGN review kerfuffle on Borderlands 2 VR. Kerfuffles just will not stop. They continue. We continue to have kerfuffles, and this time it is IGN. So we're going to get into all these topics as we go through today's episode. Oh, another thing I want to bring up, MameFan. Okay, so MameFan in chat is going to be helping me out, guys. We have 3 codes today for Slightly Heroes. The developer, Hat Rabbit Entertainment, they gave me 4 codes. I used one of them for VR Game Ranking Steam account so I could try out Slightly Heroes, but I have 3 codes to give away. Now, I've given those codes to MameFan, and he just sold them. Like, I couldn't believe he did that. No, I gave them to MameFan, and what he's going to do is he's going to sprinkle in those 3 codes during today's show. So keep an eye on chat. MameFan's going to pop those codes. I can pop them myself, but something kind of weird happens. I gotta fix something with my chat, and when I post in chat, it acts kind of weird. So MameFan is going to pop those codes. So go ahead and keep your eye on that. We do have 3 of them. We don't have 10 of them like Ramarcus, I'm not sure, I might be mispronouncing that, but Ramarcus has 10 of them. We didn't get that many. We got 4. I used 1. We got 3 of those left over. So we will be popping those babies out. Okay, so what is the first story of the day? So the first story of the day is show notes. We got to get into a bit of show notes real quick before we start here. And I got to mention tomorrow, okay? Well, actually, wait, hold on one second. Let me check here. I got to check my, I need to check Reddit real quick, actually. Can you believe that? Hold on one second. Oh man, I'm not signed into it, so I won't be able to check it like that. But anyways, okay, so here's the deal. Tomorrow, as far as I'm aware, and Reckoner VR is in chat, so maybe he can correct me with this, but as far as I'm aware, we are going to have our Game of the Year awards on VR Roundtable, on tomorrow's VR Roundtable episode. And if you guys have ever watched one of our VR Game of the Year awards episodes, they're usually pretty epic, and they're usually very long and very lengthy, and sometimes they last like 3 hours long. And so I kind of forgot about this, and I was like, well, wait a minute. I usually do my show after the VR Roundtable episode. You know, usually we call it the after party. Our Sunday Fun Day episode usually follows about 10 to 15 minutes after VR Roundtable. But dude, this is a 3-hour mega episode of VR Roundtable, and honestly, I kind of feel like I'm going to be spent after this 3-hour mega episode. So what I'm going to do, I'm not canceling tomorrow's episode, but tomorrow's episode of VR 365 is going to be at 4 p.m. Pacific time. 4 p.m. Pacific time for tomorrow's episode of VR 365. So that is the show notes because of VR Roundtable's award show tomorrow. Yeah, around 9 a.m. Join us over there on the VR Roundtable YouTube channel. Check it out. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I love doing VR Game of the Year award shows. I have some disagreements with some of the other guys on the show, particularly Steve. Yes, me and Steve have a major disagreement about something. Shocker of shockers. So definitely tune in to that VR Roundtable episode tomorrow to find out why I want to strangle Steve and why he wants to strangle me. No, actually, it's not that big of a deal, but we do have some different views on how we do these game award things, but it's all Giznud in the Hiznud. I've said that like 3 times this week. Giznud in the Hiznud. Somebody slap me. Okay, I'll take care of it myself. All right. So anyway, we covered the show notes. We covered that Main Fan is going to throw a key in the chat at some point. Okay, now what is the first true topic of the day? So let me go ahead and grab some video here of Borderlands 2 VR because that is the topic. And I'm just going to grab this upload video. I don't really like grabbing these videos. I should have had my own video. I actually did record some Let's Play video of Borderlands 2 VR yesterday, but I didn't like the way it came out. Like, I didn't think it was quite perfect, so I kind of scrapped it. But basically, see this level right here? This is kind of where I was in Borderlands 2 VR yesterday. This is kind of like the very early part of the game. This is where I was yesterday. And so before we started our show, I played at least an hour, I would say, of Borderlands 2 VR. And then I came on our show yesterday, and I was looking at some of the different reviews, and I was talking about the different reviews on Upload VR and Road to VR, and I kind of said, look, Ben Lang must be out of his mind. Like, Ben Lang has to be out of his mind because he talked a lot of smack about the visuals of Borderlands 2 VR. And now here I am basically saying, wait a minute, was Ben Lang correct all this time? Was I wrong all this time? And Ben Lang was right all this time. Now, I'm not really willing to go that far, but what I will say is I got further into Borderlands after we did the show, played more Borderlands, and I got to certain areas of the game where I'm looking around, I'm looking at the visuals, and I'm like, this is fuzzy, this is blurry, this doesn't look very good. And it was weird to me because it was such a big difference. I felt like I didn't really notice that when I first got into it that first time. And then the second time I noticed it's kind of blurry, it's kind of fuzzy. It looks a little bit more Vaseline enhanced, so to speak, this second time I was playing it. Now, I was recording footage directly to my PlayStation 4. I was trying to do a Let's Play, and I don't know if that reduced my visual quality a little bit. I'm playing it on a PlayStation 4 Pro, and I was trying to record directly to my PlayStation 4. And I know that when you record gameplay footage on your PC, like if you're recording an Oculus game or an HTC Vive game, if you don't have the most powerful computer, when you're recording gameplay footage, sometimes it actually affects your game. Like it'll affect the game that you're playing. Like sometimes your computer can't handle all of that and it stutters a little bit and it has a little bit of problems. I'm not sure if that is the case at all with PlayStation 4, but I noticed a bit of a degradation in the visuals. And so what happened was I was kind of in this area here, in this snow kind of an area, and I was going all around. I was playing the game. I was using Move controllers, actually. I was playing it with the Moves instead of the DualShock 4. And I was looking at a city that was kind of like far away in the distance. And I was like, man, that really does look very blurry, very fuzzy, very Vaseline covered, smeared, you know, pixelated. And so I'm kind of stepping back a little bit and I'm kind of saying, well, maybe the visuals of Borderlands 2 VR, maybe they're actually worse than I originally thought on that first episode when I was first talking about it yesterday. But I did say, guys, you know what? It's kind of like a roller coaster ride. So as I continue to play through Borderlands 2 VR, you know, I'll probably have some really good moments with the game where I'll be like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And then I might have other moments with the game where I'm like, God damn, this is garbage. You know, this is not very good. This is unimpressive. So it's going to be kind of a roller coaster ride. So I kind of went back and forth there. So I still don't know what to say about this game. I haven't played it enough, but I think the one thing that we can all agree on is this is not a graphical powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination. You want a graphical powerhouse on your PlayStation VR, maybe throw in Red Matter, because I believe Red Matter on PSVR looks beautiful. Astrobot on PSVR looks beautiful. Wipeout on PSVR looks beautiful. We know that PSVR is capable of beautiful visuals. We've seen them before. We've seen certain games look absolutely outstanding on PlayStation VR. Borderlands might not be one of those games. So if you are a hardcore graphics whore, if you are kind of a graphics snob, if you play certain games and you're like, oh my God, this is just awful, I'm getting out of here right away. If you're kind of like that, you might want to skip Borderlands 2 VR, especially over the $50 price point and all of that. I got to imagine, so Gary, Reckoner VR, yeah, I got to imagine he's gotten into Borderlands VR 2, Borderlands 2 VR, and I got to imagine he has his thoughts about it, and he says, I'm playing on a Pro and it looks okay. Hashtag okay, or quotes okay. What is okay? What does okay mean? I don't know. Oh, Paradise, VR Paradise. Yes, I forgot about that. I don't even know if I can show like the Steam page of that. Okay, so last night, yeah, Strip Club in VR, guys. Everybody's talking about it in chat. There is a Strip Club VR thing that is going on. Let me go ahead and switch over here. I got to be careful here. I do not want to get kicked off of YouTube. So I'm switching over here to this little setup here. Let's click on this. Okay, Welcome Above. Yeah, that is a game we're going to take a look at a little bit later. We do have a trailer for this game. It looks kind of cool. So we'll check this out a little bit later. But let me look up Paradise City. Okay, so there's this game here. It's called Paradise City VR. And yeah, this is not necessarily, you know, it's not necessarily family friendly. This is not the game I'm talking about here. And I haven't been, they've definitely added a trailer. This is Paradise City VR. And I kind of was talking about this game and so, oh man, this is all bad. It's going all bad. And I talked about that game another day on another episode, and that's what I thought MameFan was talking about. He was talking about something in our Discord server about this VR Paradise, okay, but it's a different game. I'm going to try looking it up here. Hopefully I will not be removed. Okay, yeah, I can't even look it up because it is an adult-only thing. Maybe I could just go to Google and do a Google search. It is called VR Paradise, and it is basically an interactive strip club. VR Paradise. I got to be real careful here about what comes on the screen. Okay, VR Paradise on Steam. Let me click on this, and hopefully I don't get arrested. Hopefully, okay, I'm going to click on one of these images here. Okay, this is kind of safe here. Okay, this is kind of safe. Okay, guys, I got to tell you, this is absolutely worth trying. This is absolutely worth checking out. And this is the first adult-only game I have ever played in my life. And so what you got to do is you got to go into Steam. You got to go into your preferences, and you actually have to check a box so that you can even look at this stuff. Like MameFan was talking about this thing called VR Paradise. I did. I went into Steam. MameFan says, Ant, change your preferences in Steam. I did do that, but see, I'm in like a browser right now where it doesn't have that, so I don't have that. But yeah, you got to go into Steam, man, and you got to go into your preferences, and you have to allow for adult-only content. And this has kind of been in the news recently that there is this adult-only thing, like Steam is starting to allow adult-only stuff. Like they're letting the floodgates open, so all kinds of weird, crazy stuff can happen on Steam now with this adult-only thing. And you know what? Look, I'm not going to get into anything that is very wrong. I'm going to try to tiptoe around this minefield, so to speak. But hey, you know, this is a strip club, right? I mean, how many times have we watched a movie where Will Smith and his partner go into a strip club, a titty joint, or whatever you call it? We've seen it in a million movies. We know what strip clubs are all about, but some of us have never been in a strip club. Yes, I'm actually going to stand up here and say I have never... Okay, Paradise Decay says the next screenshot shows a prawn around a pole. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to click that next button because it's very, very dangerous. But can you believe this, ladies and gentlemen? I am not telling a lie. I am not telling a lie. I am in my 40s, okay? I am in my 40s. I have never stepped foot. Well, no, actually, maybe I did step foot in a strip club like way back when I was like 18 or 19. I think I did step foot in a strip club, but it was very brief. And I was with a buddy of mine who was actually dating a dancer, okay? And he just had to tell her something. And I think we stepped into a strip club for like 10 minutes. And that is my only ever experience with a strip club. I swear to you, ladies and gentlemen, I am not a strip club patron. I really am not. But it's an interesting experience. It truly is. And this is a VR experience that puts you in a strip club. And you want to talk about the uncanny valley, guys. This is a trip to the uncanny valley, and it is a little bit weird. It is a little bit freaky, and I gotta say, I recommend everybody try this out for science. Try it out for science. Like, we just kind of want to see. Phil Yarn says, look, I've never been in a strip club myself. I have never been in a strip club. Yes. So here's the deal. You get into this thing, and it's a pretty good realization of a strip club. Although I wouldn't know because I've never been in one, right? So how would I even know? But it seems like a strip club that I might have seen somewhere or in a movie or something, and they do a pretty damn good job. So the way it works here, this is a seated experience, but I'm going to give you guys a pro tip. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a pro tip, and the pro tip is to get up out of your seat and move around a little bit as much as you can do, and we'll talk more about that later. But basically, when you first start this experience, it says you got to sit down, you know, get in your seat, get nice and comfortable, and then go ahead and press this button, and it'll centerize your view. Yeah, this is kind of hilarious, guys. This is funny. So you get in there, and you're sitting down, and there's a bunch of ladies that are walking around, and they're not wearing a hell of a lot of clothes, right? And there's a couple of stages that are set up there. I believe there's stage 1 and stage 2. And I don't know who the developer of this game is. I'm scared to click on anything. I really am. Okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and click next. This is dangerous, folks. This is seriously dangerous. I'm going to click next. We're going to see what happens here. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, damn it, damn it, damn it. Okay, let's click back. Let's click back. I am about to get kicked off of YouTube. My apologies to YouTube and everybody. Okay, I'm back here. I feel like this is a safer view right here. Okay, this is a safer view. Oh my goodness. Okay, so yeah, so you're in this strip club, and I don't know who the developer of this game is, but they did a pretty damn good job. Like, I give these guys some legitimate credit. Yeah, Jay says, Jeepers Creepers. Absolutely. I give this developer credit because, like, the audio, the visuals, you know, they really set the stage, man. They really set the stage pretty well. It's actually a pretty good production. And so what you can do is you can teleport from chair to sofa to chair all around this strip club, and you're basically just sitting down here. You're just sitting down in the strip club. There's other dudes there. There are other creepy dudes there. And you will see these other creepy dudes. And you're like, sometimes you're sitting next to these other creepy dudes. And you're like, dude, you're kind of creepy. But you know what? I'm kind of creepy too. Because I am in this strip club. So I am kind of creepy too. You know, it's like the pot calling the kettle black, or whatever you want to call it, you know. Don't throw rocks when you live in a glass house. So yeah, these other guys are creepy, but I'm here, I must be kind of creepy. And so you're teleporting around into different chairs. These girls walk by. And so sometimes they'll walk by and they'll say something to you, and they'll be like, "Hi, big boy." They'll be like, "Hi, big boy. What are you doing, big boy?" And so you actually have a button where you can flash some bills. You hit one of your buttons and a whole bunch of like $100 bills appear in your hand, and you can make it rain. No, actually, you know what they should do? They should have a make it rain button where you just throw it into the air, and the money just comes floating down, and then a whole bunch of girls run over to you, and they're like, "Oh my God, I like you so much. You are making it rain, baby." That's what they should have had. But they do have this button where you hold out a couple of bills, and then a girl comes over. Jay says, "But does it have smooth turn? That's all that really matters." You know, I don't know if it has smooth turn, but let me get into my pro tip here. So you're sitting in the chair, and sometimes a girl will sit right next to you, and she'll turn and look at you. And the uncanny valley is an interesting situation, because sometimes you're looking at these girls and you're like, "Oh my God, these models look so fake and so phony." But other times you'll look at them. Okay, there's a code, baby. Slightly Heroes. Yeah, go ahead, grab that code, guys. Oh, this is freaking hilarious. But sometimes you'll look at these girls, and they'll look at you a certain way, and you'll look at them a certain way, and it almost feels weird, man. It almost feels like an actual interaction, guys. And that's why I gotta say, this game right here, get into this, check this out, do it for the sake of science, because this is the downfall of humanity. The downfall of humanity is upon us, ladies and gentlemen. The divorce rates are going to skyrocket. The lack of marriages. This is a disaster for humanity as we know it. This really is, because, okay, we're not there yet. We absolutely are not there yet. But we are headed in that direction. We are headed in that direction. Another 10 years from now, it's going to be over. It is going to be over, because as good as they've gotten it at this point with this experience, I want to put my wife in this experience. I actually want to put my wife in here, because I just want to show her, honey, take a look at this and see how humanity is just destined for failure. Like, humanity as we know it is over with. It is over, folks. This is the downfall of humanity. And I kind of want my wife to get in there and be like, wow, you know what? You really are right. This is the downfall of humanity. Because, you know, for science, right? But okay, so here's my pro tip. Here is my pro tip. My pro tip is get up out of your seat and actually move around, because if you do that, because you can't ever get close to these models. Like, they never get super close to you. They sit down next to you. They might kind of walk over to you. I guess there's like some kind of free dance, but I never got the free dance. I don't know what, like, I've tried to do some things, like I flash my bills and then it says 20 credits or 40 credits. Like, you actually have to spend real money, guys. This is a free to play experience. But if you want a lap dance, you actually spend $20 real, I guess. It's like $20 real to get a lap dance, or $40 real to get a special lap dance, or I don't know how this stuff works. I really don't. I didn't get any of those things happening to me. But you don't, like, from what I experienced, you don't really get that close to the girls. But if you want to get close to the girls, if you want to get a bit creepy with it, you can actually stand up and kind of walk around. Now, your guardian boundaries could be a problem here, but one of the most interesting things to do in this is you actually get in a situation where the girl is like standing like right in front of you and you're standing right behind her. And there's something about the perspective. There's something about the 3D. I was standing right behind this one girl, right? She turns around and looks at me, and she's like looking me in the eyes with her robot android eyes, you know, and it's not perfectly, you know, these are not perfectly synthetic humans. We're a real long ways away from there. But she looked at me with her robot eyes, and there was something about the perspective of me standing up and her occupying real, like seemingly occupying real space. And it was uncanny valley like you would not believe. And so I just highly recommend everybody check this out, man. It is super cool. Absolutely check this out. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get off of this. That is VR Paradise on Steam. The reviews are not very good, and they're not very good because a lot of people, oh my God, I can't believe this. A lot of people are giving it bad reviews because you got to pay money. You got to pay money. Now, I really think on the strip club side of the coin, let's get back to this Borderlands thing. This is a lot safer. I think on the strip side of things, like, why don't they make it cost like $1? $1 for like these different things that could be done to you. $1, and then people will actually do it. Like, they're charging way too much money, but I'm sure somebody out there is going to do it. So let's go ahead and check out chat, because this has got to be hilarious. So I'm going through chat here. Paradise Decay says, just checking Anthony's activity on Steam, and after playing this game, he played Beat Saber. No, I didn't. That is funny. Yeah, I'm going to have to sign into a private account and play this game, right? Jay says, I'm going to pass. Sitting next to creepy guys in clubs takes me back 20 years. Bad times. Yeah, I kind of, like, you will get that creep-o factor, and that's why it's so good. I still believe you guys should go into this. You guys really should go into this. Just to see it for a couple of minutes, I think you guys should go into this. Fluke Rogi says, well, on one of those screenshots, she certainly had an uncanny valley. Yeah, oh my God, am I going to get kicked off of... Dude, I just moved my channel from one channel to a new channel. Am I going to get kicked off of freaking YouTube for like 5 seconds of showing that stuff? I hope I don't. I hope I don't. Okay, Hussein X says VR Prawn is going to break relationships. It will cause ED with real women. Wow, going there. Reckoner VR says, I wouldn't spend $20 for a real lap dance. And VR Spry Guy says, what is this? Is this an alternative to Yoga VR? Pretty much. And S. Fogel says, what the F is going on here? Greg's VR says the dev of the game gave me 1,000 free credits. He's got 740 credits left. And Jay says, it's the Twilight Zone in here. It really is. This is hilarious. I was wondering, what am I going to talk about on today's show? that has been answered, man. I just got through like 20 minutes of show off of this stuff. And I Am Dreamer says, at Greg's VR, sounds like you can do a lot of science. Absolutely. Sash the Dash checking in from Germany says they are going to get rich off of this stuff. Yeah, so it's pretty funny, guys. So yeah, that is something to check out. VR Prawn 365. That is Paradise Decay. Yeah, VR Prawn 365. Hussein X says, you're not going to get kicked. The actual trailer is on YouTube showing bits but blurred. Yeah, and I'm not going to grab that trailer. I will not grab that trailer. Okay, so yeah, man, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. So what are some of the other topics that we want to get into now? And one of the things I do want to get into is the IGN kerfuffle, and it is about Borderlands 2 VR. And honestly, I was hoping for some more time prior to this show. It's hard to get back into regular show talk after all of that, but we got to get back into regular show talk. But IGN kerfuffle. So what exactly happened here? So apparently IGN on their website, they had a review for Borderlands 2 VR where they gave it a 3 out of 10. A 3 out of 10. And apparently the guy that reviewed the game didn't understand how to go into the menus and was complaining about all these things about, I can't believe the game doesn't do this, it doesn't do that, and all of it was in the menus. And so everybody found this review and they just screamed bloody murder about it to IGN. So IGN has pulled this review. It's just an example, guys. It is an example of how these mainstream gaming websites, they give VR short shrift. And so they don't use their primary reviewer people to review any of the VR games. Instead, they hire these these guys that basically don't know what they're doing, and they're jumping into VR games. They're not giving them the proper due. They don't know how to play VR games. It's a serious problem. It really is. Maybe they should hire some real freaking VR gamers, and then maybe they wouldn't get into this problem. But see, here's what they're going to argue. They're going to argue that VR gaming, they don't get enough clicks. They simply don't get enough clicks from this stuff to take VR seriously. So it's kind of a catch-22 kind of a situation. They don't get enough clicks, so they don't take VR seriously. So then sometimes they do these reviews and it comes off as completely asinine, and it is a tragedy beyond tragedies. So why don't we do this, guys? Why don't we go over to the PSVR subreddit and let's see if some people are talking about this kerfuffle. We got to get away from VR Paradise. We got to get away from that. Okay, so here we are. This is the PlayStation VR subreddit. Let's see if they're talking about this somewhere on here. Okay, IGN Borderlands 2 VR review is gone from their channel. LOL. Yeah, this is the kerfuffle that happened yesterday. It is a major IGN kerfuffle. They basically got busted, man. They straight up got busted. See, look, if we scroll all the way down here, IGN Borderlands 2 VR review, 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. I haven't played it myself yet, but what the F? Other outlets are 9 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. I don't know about that. Okay, you're going a bit far there with that. I don't know about these other outlets with 10 out of 10. But yeah, this is a major kerfuffle, and it really is a problem in VR. We just don't have enough true VR reviewers, especially on these mainstream sites, you know, these mainstream sites that are doing it. Let's go ahead and click on this one. IGN Borderlands 2 review is gone from their channel. I just want to take a look at a couple of the comments that are in here. So Psychic Creeper with 150 points nearly says, I saw that too. It's probably because of misinformation. If IGN kept that up, it would make them look stupid. I'm all for opinions, but if mostly all the negative points can be fixed in settings, then I don't know what to say. And he says, it looks like the reviewer only played the game for 30 minutes and was done. It is so embarrassing when this shit happens, man. It is truly embarrassing. But you know what? And so, like, you scroll down more. I think the dude who reviewed it is a freelancer. Of course he is. He's a freelancer because IGN is not taking VR seriously. They're not. But, you know, I can't really 100% blame IGN because they will show us the numbers. They'll just say, look, we do a VR story. Nobody gives an F. So they don't do VR stories anymore. So it's kind of this catch-22. Now, eventually, VR is going to get more and more popular because of VR Paradise. Yeah, strip clubs. No, but seriously, VR will get more and more popular as the years move on. And these VR stories are going to start getting clicks. All of this is going to take care of itself. But this is not the last kerfuffle we're ever going to see. We are going to see kerfuffles like this on a regular basis. Okay, so anyway, guys, let's go ahead and move on. That is the IGN kerfuffle, the IGN review disaster. Now, I do have some good news to talk about today. And one of the good bits of news I do have is District Steel. District Steel, it doth exist. Let's go back here to our little webby browser thing. Here it is, District Steel. This is the Steam page. I've talked about this game a number of times. It says it's coming out in 2018, but we don't know when. Barricade Studio is a developer, and it was all quiet on the Western Front for this game for the longest time, but they finally have released a game trailer. Well, not really a game trailer, but like a gameplay video that lasts like 15 minutes. And so what I did was I took this 15 minutes video, I edited it down to about 3 minutes, and I'm going to go ahead and run that right now, and then we can talk about it after it's over. So this is about a 3-minute video, which will allow me a chance to go get some water. I need some water really bad. So let me get back over here. Okay, let me go ahead and grab this video. This is District 9. It's basically about a little over 3 minutes of footage here from their 15-minute video, but I kind of edited it up a little bit to give you the highlights. This is District Steel. I said District 9, huh? This is District Steel by Barricade Studios. Let's check this puppy out. Alrighty, that is District Steel. And yeah, so apologies for the quality of the video here. If you actually go to their if you go to their YouTube channel, I got the full video, you know, the full 1080p video, and I edited it a little bit, but see, I'm streaming it over the internet right now, and the problem is it's Saturday, so my kids are home, so they're playing Fortnite in one room, they're watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos in another room, you know, my wife is probably in another room watching Netflix, so my bandwidth is probably a little bit crappy, so this video is coming out maybe not as clear as it would be on their channel, but I like the look of this game. I mean, this is not a world-beating game. We've seen games like this before. I just like the looks. I like the style. I like the robots. The main thing that I said with District Steel way back in the days is I said, looking at a lot of the screenshots and looking at a lot of the stuff of it, it just kind of reminds me of these like classic shooters in the very late 90s and very, very early 2000s on PC. And I'm talking about stuff like Kingpin. I'm talking about stuff like Sin. Do you guys remember that game Sin? S-I-N? It was like a PC game back in the very, very late 90s. I don't know why, but I get kind of that vibe from this. But this is obviously a much more modernized game. They got the slow-mo, and they got a lot of special effects and stuff. And you got these interesting little looking robots. And it kind of seems like you might actually be a robot. Like in this game, like you might be a robot as well. Fluke says, just looks like uninspiring, gray, generic sci-fi scenery to me. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get why this is such a big deal. And, you know, maybe it's not a big deal. Like, I don't think this is like, oh, man, this is like Game of the Year, brah. You know, this isn't Game of the Year, brah. This is just a new game that is going to be coming out called District Steel. I think it looks pretty cool. You know, this could be a game that's like $20, $25 or something like that. I'm not saying this is going to compete with Fallout 4 VR and Skyrim or anything like that. But I'm just excited about it because I was worried that this game might be like DOA, like maybe they just gave up on it or Barricade Studios went out of business or something like that. And that is not the case. So it looks like this baby's coming. But as far as we know, we don't have any new information. Yeah, Reckoner says, Sin, wasn't that supposed to be the Half-Life beater? And it was. It was the Half-Life beater. Sin was awesome. The very first Sin, at least, was super awesome. But anyway, that is District Steel. And okay, so I did mention a little bit earlier that there is this game called Welcome Above, and I have a trailer for it. I think the trailer looks kind of interesting. So this is a very indie, kind of an indie game. But let me go ahead and throw this other trailer on. We can check it out. It is called Welcome Above. So let me go ahead and grab this trailer just a second here, folks. Let's see here. Welcome Above. Yeah, let's check this out. Okay, so that is called Welcome Above. That is available right now on Steam. I never heard of it before, but you know what? I kind of like the visual style of this. I don't know, for some reason, it reminds me a little bit of Bound on PSVR. It reminds me a little bit of that. But I mean, obviously, this is a flying game. There have been a number of flying games in VR. I know we got like Race the Sun. There's a number of them. There's like several of them. And so it looks like some of this features like some kind of realistic graphics in certain parts. I mean, some of that like looks like Stormland almost, some of those environments there a little bit, but then it also has more kind of surreal, cel-shaded looking graphics. Like these are a little bit more surreal as you get over here. But, you know, it looks pretty cool. I don't know too much about this. I do believe this is an indie kind of a game, maybe possibly made by like a single individual person. We can actually go ahead and bounce over to the Steam page for this. But yeah, this part here looks very cel-shaded and kind of reminds me of Bound a little bit, where other parts have a bit more realistic look. But let's go ahead and bounce over to the web page for this. And so here it is. This is Welcome Above, the Dream of Flight. Welcome Above is a stylized VR flight experience that allows the players to enjoy the natural feeling of flying. And so Framefilled is the name of the developer here. This is available. What day did this come out? This came out on December 14th. So this was just yesterday. There's only one review for this. Just came out. Regular price is $9. It is 25% off. You can grab this for just under $7. And this promotion lasts until December 21st. Looks kind of cool, you know? Looks pretty interesting. Doesn't look too bad. I think there was a post on one of the subreddits where this guy was talking about this, and I believe it's one individual guy that made this, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, that is called Welcome Above. Does look kind of sweet. So there is that. That is out there. Let's see. And I do have one other trailer that I wanted to throw on the screen. It is called Confliction VR. But I don't know that this next trailer that I'm going to throw on the screen, I don't believe it's like a game or anything. It's by this company called Sawmill Studios, and they're kind of showing you how they do like motion capture, next level motion capture techniques with VR and some stuff like that. Looks kind of cool, looks kind of interesting. So let's check out this other trailer that I have real quick. Let me go ahead and grab that. We can talk about it right after it's over here. It's called Confliction VR, and I don't know too much about it, but this is behind-the-scenes trailer from Sawmill Studios, and it's pretty short, so let's just go ahead and check this out real quick.
The Sawmill is a media services studio with a twin focus on motion capture production and research for product development. We develop industry tools to connecting the visual effects and digital industries while providing service for the entertainment and scientific sectors. The process for this VR experiment started off using our typical motion capture pipeline, which is we capture the actor's performance and use our proprietary tool called Peel Solve to clean and solve the animation onto a character rig. From there, the files are passed on to our animation team for stitching, motion editing, and polish. Their completed animations are exported as FBX files, ready for merging into one of the game engines, as in this case with Unity. We model the environment and prop elements to combine the lighting and particle effects from the Unity platform. A fully scanned and rigged digital double of our actor, Anthony, was provided by our partners at ScanLab Photogrammetry and Animism Studios. The viewer will experience performances based on 3 different emotions: happiness, anger, and fear, personified as characters interacting with Anthony, who is meditating in a lotus position. Triggered by buttons on his back, the environment changes to reflect the emotional state, visually cueing the sequence. It's the first time we've attempted to visualize VR content using our expanded pipeline, and we hope you enjoy the experiment.
All Alrighty, so it looks like they will have some type of demo that will be available at some point for people to check that out. I just thought, what I do is every once in a while, I just go into YouTube, right? And I will put VR trailer, and then I'll search for today, and I'll search for, or like this week. And I'll just, every once in a while, I'll find like some random VR trailer that looks like it might be halfway interesting, and this is what I found. It was called Conflictors, or Confliction VR. It's by Sawmill Studios, and you know, it gives us kind of an idea of how they kind of do motion capture, and then how they bring that into a 360-degree world. And, you know, it gives us a little bit of an idea of that. But I really hadn't seen this trailer before I threw it on here. But just kind of a behind-the-scenes look. We play all these VR games all the time, but we don't really know how it's all created. How do they put it all together? And this gives us kind of a little bit of an idea here. So that's kind of interesting. I thought it was kind of cool. But that is Confliction VR by Sawmill Studios. All right, so that's pretty much what I've got for you guys today. We haven't quite been going an hour, so what we can do real quick is we can go ahead and check out some of the news, see if there's any news information that is going on right now. So let's go ahead and switch back over to our web browser window here, and let's go to Upload VR, and we'll give this a quick refresh and see what the latest is. Okay, so you know what? I have been hearing a lot about this. People are talking about this on the Oculus subreddit. I know today when I came over to my computer, there was, like, my Oculus was up and running. I don't know why. I might have accidentally left it up and running, but it was saying that there's an update. And so I went ahead and I installed the update. But apparently, some people are having some major problems with this. Like, some people are not able to use their Oculus Rift right now. There seems to be some type of error that is going on. And here we go. We have our boy, Haney555, how to fix can't reach Oculus runtime service Rift error. So if you are having a problem, it looks like there is a solution around this. So you might want to hop over to Upload VR and check this story out if you are having a problem. Of course, they're talking about the biggest VR releases of the week. Borderlands 2 VR is definitely a biggin. It is a biggin, as we like to say. And then we've seen all these other stories before, so we're not going to go ahead and get into that. So why don't we go ahead and bounce over to Road to VR real quick. We'll go ahead and give this a quick little refresh real fast as well. And it says new free Beat Saber track is an exclusive debut from electronic band Knower. Now, is this track coming to PC VR, though, as well, or is this just coming to PlayStation VR? It says Beat Saber fans were greeted with an update on all platforms today. Okay, that's good news. One Hope, which was added to the game in an update today, debuted exclusively in the game and won't be available on other platforms like Spotify until a later date. Indie electronic band Knower, the artist behind the song, might not be a household name, but they are throwing it in there as well. So yeah, so there are some new songs that are heading over to Beat Saber. That is good news, of course. Subnautica, of course, is free. We already talked about that. And of course, we did get a date for Fisherman's Tale. Did anybody try this 360 trailer? See, I don't grab these 360 trailers and try to show them on our show because it doesn't really work properly like that. I forgot to try this because probably what I should do is go into my Oculus Go and load up the YouTube app in the Oculus Go and try this little 360 trailer and see how it is. So yeah, so I believe The Fisherman's Tale is coming on January 22nd, and remember, it's only $15, so it's kind of a short, I mean, we got to imagine it is a very short experience for The Fisherman's Tale. I believe Paradise Decay has already been in A Fisherman's Tale. I think he got an advanced version of this or something. I think he's been in that game already. But, you know, it's only $15. So Fisherman's Tale will be coming on January 22nd. Oh, you know what? Let's talk Debbie Downers, guys. Let's talk Debbie Downers. This show is almost over. We're almost done for the day. But this is a legit freaking Debbie Downer story. I don't think we can really spin this in any other direction. Imax is closing down all of their IMAX VR centers. This is, I mean, how do you spin? I don't know how you spin this in a positive situation. So here's the quote. This was an IMAX spokesperson speaking to Variety, and here's what they had to say. With the launch of IMAX VR Center pilot program, our intention was to test a variety of different concepts and locations to determine which approaches work well. After a trial period with VR centers and multiplexes, we have decided to conclude the IMAX VR Center pilot program and close the remaining 3 locations in Q1 2019. So basically, they're taking their ball and they are going home. So the whole IMAX thing is ending, and that is kind of a tragedy. Now, I don't know where I was, and Phil Urine says, bad management is a nice spin. We can do that. Yeah. I was somewhere where everybody was talking about this, and they were talking about why this went bad. And they did have kind of a reasonable explanation on why this all went bad, because it's kind of like what IMAX thought was, oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to make all these really fancy centers that look like totally like they just came out of Tron or something. But then all we're going to do is put people in like regular crappy little VR experiences that aren't that special or unique. We're not going to add any kind of 4D extra environment. You know, we're not going to have fans blowing on you at a very specific point or something hot or cold. We're not going to have any tactile feedback. We're not going to have any moving platforms. They didn't do anything that the Void was doing. It's basically a glorified VR arcade, except made to look like super really nice, but the amount of money they're charging, and it ultimately didn't work out. They actually said, now I read some more about this, and one of the things they were saying was they had people coming into these places, they had people paying the money for it, but the bottom line was they just couldn't make it economically viable. So like people were going to these places, they were paying money, they were doing it, but it just wasn't making enough money. It just wasn't working out ultimately as far as these IMAX centers go. But yeah, I mean, if we are going to try to spin it positively, we can say, well, you know what, they didn't do a very smart job of it. What they should have did, now I'm not saying they should have made the Void Part 2, because that is an incredible kind of an investment, but they could have done some extra little things. You know, they could have added some extra little touches, maybe had some experiences that were a little bit more dialed in. But it's unfortunate. You know, it is a Debbie Downer. They are closing all their remaining IMAX centers, and there's really no positive way to spin out of it other than mismanagement. I mean, we can definitely say mismanagement, but you know, it's also a reflection of this trough of disillusionment that we are in. VR is a bit of a niche, and it hasn't taken over completely. And but I feel confident, I'm sure a lot of you guys feel confident, that it is simply a matter of time. We've seen VR Paradise. Our answers have been solved. As once more people experience VR Paradise, VR will take off in unknown directions. So it's all good, right? So we don't have to worry about that too much. So I am going to go ahead and switch back over here. All right, guys. Well, you know what? It has been about an hour now, so I am going to bounce out of here. Contractors VR, contractors, not contractors, not see you in Toledo. We don't want to do that. Contractors is available right now. And let's see. Let's actually bounce over to the Steam page for Contractors real quick. Here's the Steam page. You know, it came out yesterday. Actually, let me try to refresh this because it shows no viewer reviews. Yesterday we had this. Very positive. 55 reviews. Very positive. It is a Phil Yarn special. And a major bonus here, guys. You can grab this for 17 bucks. Pretty good discount. 17 bucks to grab Contractors VR. I have not been in this yet, but thanks to Caveman Studio, I did get a review key for this game, so I absolutely will be jumping into this sometime today. I will be checking this out sometime today. I will probably get sniped within a fraction of a second, but I still want to check out the graphics, check out the vibe and all of that. So I'm going to jump in there and check that out later today. So we do have Contractors VR. All right, guys, I do have to bounce out of here. Let's go back to our standard scene here. Let me go ahead and get my little outro logo. Pop that on the screen real quick. All right, that is going to do it for our Saturday episode. I thought it was a fun episode. I like this episode. Thanks to VR Paradise. Thank you so much. And thanks to Hat Rabbit Entertainment. We did hand out 3 game keys for Slightly Heroes. So 3 of our chatters are going to be able to check out Slightly Heroes. It's not a bad game. It's a pretty cool game. It's not the greatest game in the world, but it's pretty freaking solid. That is Slightly Heroes. So definitely thanks to Hat Rabbit Entertainment for that. Be sure to go ahead and smash the like button. Yeah, man, smash that like button, bro. Go ahead and do it. Smash the like button. Go ahead and subscribe to our show and leave a comment after this whole thing is over. We need comments after it's over. I forgot to hit the mailbag today, guys, but you know what? That's something I can do on our Sunday Fun Day show. And just one more reminder, the Sunday Fun Day version of our show, it is going to be a late night affair. You guys in the UK, you're going to have to stay up till 1 in the morning because we are doing it at 4 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. It's going to be a late afternoon show for us on VR365 tomorrow, 4 p.m. Pacific time. I will see everybody tomorrow. All right, see you guys then. Take it easy. Have fun. Later.